Alright, so today what we got is a 2008 CRF150R. I never had one of these. I figured I'd pick one up. I picked this up a few months ago. I've just now been getting the chance to work on it. When I did get it, it did run, but I tried to start it the other day and it didn't. So I imagine, it's just probably something with the carb. We're gonna go through the carb, put a new spark plug in. I gotta check the air filter. I haven't checked that yet, see if I need to get a new one. Other than that, it's a pretty decently clean bike. The plastics are pretty scratched, but it's a 2008. That's kind of what's expected. I did get new handlebars. These are the eBay special. And the throttle kind of sticks, as you can see. So we got new bars coming, grips, a billet throttle tube. I'm gonna try that out. And I guess the biggest problem I would say is it is leaking, as you can see. So I believe it's leaking from the drain plug, which I got a new drain plug. It's also leaking from the shaft seal right there. I did get a new one of those. And then this bolt. I don't know what this bolt is. I don't know if it's just not tight, but it is leaking from there. Kind of see that drip. We'll also do an oil change on it as well, as soon as we figure out the leaking. And then the smaller one, there's a puddle there. So I don't know why that one would be leaking right there. So let's turn my light like that. There we go. And then get my 8mm. Right there. No, that's tight. I don't know why that would be leaking. That's perfectly tight right there. Yeah, that bolt right there is tight, but it is leaking, which is pretty odd, as you can see. So I don't know if the case is leaking because there's a spot right there, but we'll have to inspect it a little further. So keep you updated. I'm just gonna get the plastics off, check the air filter real quick, and then we'll start diving in to get to the carburetor, rebuild that, and do the oil change and replace some of these bolts that are leaking here. Yeah, the air filter is really dirty, definitely overdue. We'll order one of those up, replace that. Got the rear, got the seat off, and the rear number plates. So we're gonna get the front shrouds off and start disassembling the airbox to get to the carburetor, which is located right here. All right, so this is where we're at. To get the airbox out, I had to unbolt the bottom half of the subframe, and obviously the exhaust, that bolt. The airbox is absolutely disgusting. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's really oily inside, so we'll wash that out, clean it up pretty well. I was just about to detach the throttle body cables, and then we're probably gonna have to take the gas tank off just to get to the carb. Definitely to get to the spark plug, which is up here. We'll see what's going on with that too. So yeah, that was just an update. We'll be right back. Okay, so I am taking the throttle body cables off. I already took the top one off. Just in case you don't know how to do it, because these are kind of weird. You want to count your threads first, of how many threads there are right here. So my bottom one was 11, my top one was 7. And just write it down somewhere, and then you just want to take this bolt. It's a 10. You just want to loosen it. It's gonna loosen that nut in there. You just want to do it till you have enough slack to pull it out. And then once this is loose enough, usually you have to get it loose. I'll take it completely off. Alright, so little update. We got the throttle body off, or at least the cables and everything like that. I think that's where we left off. And I finally got the ignition pack out. And to get the spark plug out is pretty challenging. I don't have a ton of space to work with, so I just did a, I think it's like a pivot head on a 16mm socket. But once I got it loose, I couldn't like get it out because I don't have a magnetic one. So I literally just took some of this Loctite fun tack for like posters, and I just put a little bit in there. And once it was loose, I just put it in there with that, and it came right out. So if you're having trouble, that's a little trick. But the way it was running, you can see it's a little wet towards the threads, but it's a little dark, but not terrible. Spark plug does look kind of old though, so I don't know if this was sparking or not. I might test it out right here, so we'll see. Alright, so we got the carbon part here. I took the top portion off. It was only held on by one screw. I do have extra screws in the bag of a little rebuild kit. It doesn't look too dirty or anything like that. The bowl's pretty clean as well, as you can see. So I don't really know what was the matter. The main jet could have been clogged, so look at the main jet is a, what was it? I think it said 138. Yeah, I'll take it out, we'll see. And then we'll check the float too, if there's any gas or the float needle. Just make sure those are okay, so we'll pop those out right now. Alright, so I got the pilot out. The pilot is a 38. Nothing's clogged, it's all good. I just think some bad gas was in it. That's also why I wasn't starting, because the gas when I drained the car was super yellow. That was in the bowl. The float's fine, the needle looks fine. The rubber's not like perished or anything like that. It's still plenty and even. The main jet is a 138. I do have a 140, but I think I'm just gonna keep it stock. Here's the spark plug. Let's see if we can keep this shot here. Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's pretty good. It's dark, but it's still like brown up top. So it was running fine. I did get it from another city. So the elevation here, I think is like 500 feet more or something like that, maybe like 300. So I am just gonna up the pilot jet to a 40 probably, instead of a 38, just make it a little easier starting too and low idling. I could always change it with the carb on the bike. You can just take the bowl off. But I just wanted to go through the carb to make sure it's all good. So we're gonna keep the main a 138, put a 40 pilot in. Other than that, it's good. I do have it actually came with this. It's an aftermarket air to fuel screw. The stock one looks like this. I got it in the kit, but I have an aftermarket one. And the aftermarket one didn't come, it only came with a spring. But there's supposed to be two washers. It's supposed to go washer, spring, washer, O-ring, but the set only came with one washer, so we're just gonna put it on the bottom. There's supposed to be a washer there, just in case you need to know the order for that, because you do need to take it off to take the bowl off. So yeah, we're just gonna throw this back on, put it back together. I do have new seals. The seal to the bottom of the bowl was super flat compared to the new one. The top one looked pretty new, but we're still gonna replace it. After we rebuild this, we will be checking the timing of the valves. All right, as you can see, we have the cam cover off right here. It's just secured with two bolts on the top, and you gotta take the breather hose off and take it out this side with the kickstart. That's the only way it'll come out. Other than that, you're gonna be wrestling with it. So we set the timing so the valves are at the top, or the pistons at the bottom, and the valves are, you know, in. You want to set it to where, so see the triangles? There's one on top and bottom, and you want the out to be facing towards the front of the bike. And that's how you get the valves to the top end. So if you do this in these rocker arms right here, you can't hear it, but I'm wiggling it. Sometimes you can't wiggle those, so just turn it again and it'll loosen up. So let's go check the spacing on these. Okay, so we're on the right side of the bike. This one has a bit of better light. So you have 2 of the exhaust cams right here. So you want to get a 0.01, and that should be able to fit in there pretty well. See, there's really like minimum resistance, and you want to get a 0.11 or 0.11. And that one, if it doesn't fit, you're good. If it fits, your cams are kind of a little loose, I guess you could say, or the sizing is down one. But I got a 0.012 and it will not fit. So it's supposed to be between these two, your cams, and mine are. So the exhaust ones are good. So the intake ones are a little more complicated, but I'll show you how to do those right now. All right, now for the intake, which are right below these cam lobes. You want to make sure your cam lobes are facing out towards like the back of the bike, and then just kind of slide your feeler in there. Okay, so top camshaft covers on. Don't forget to tighten down the spark plug when this is off, because you can't tighten it down with it on. I did that off camera. And then we're also gonna replace the crank bolt right here. Make sure you lubricate this O-ring just so it doesn't grind on that. And next time you see it, we'll throw the carb back on. All right, so we got the carb back on here. I just did the throttle body, super easy. You just look at the cables kind of. So the top one, I didn't see the bottom is real loose. Top one goes up here, bottom one goes on the bottom. And as you can see, when I twist the throttle, it's like stuck. I'm pretty sure that has to do with the throttle tube, which is why we got a new one and new handlebars. If it's not, you can literally just pop this little cover off, and you know, I can adjust it or put new throttle cables if these are like stretched out or something. I'm not entirely sure. I'm willing to bet it's the throttle though, because these are really cheap, like bars. So, because as you can see, it's not, this wire is not like snapping it back as it should. All right, so we got the bike put back together. All the plastics are back on the air box. I put a brand new air filter that I just oiled in there. Also replaced the rear chain guard. The old one was falling apart, so I just got it off eBay and put it back on. The chain is super stretched out, it looks like too, so we will get a new chain. Other than that, it looks pretty good. I did order a new throttle body cable because I'm pretty sure it's sticking, as you can see, so that'll be in the mail soon. Other than that, we just got to change the transmission oil and the motor oil on it, because there are 2 different oils on this bike, and then we'll have our first start and ride. So stay tuned for next video, and thanks for watching.